Hello again. This afternoon, the Manchester Central District Assembly has rejected allegations of extortion linked to illegal mining, insisting that the fees charged on earth-moving equipment are lawful and will remain in place until its bylaws are amended. In a statement responding to a JoyNews undercover investigation titled "A Tax for Galamsey," the Assembly said the fees collections date back to 2008 and span multiple political administrations. It says the current administration simply inherited the arrangement. Well, the Assembly further dismissed claims of extortion or diversion of funds, saying all payments are made into its official accounts at Odotobri Rural Bank and backed by official receipts. We'll hear from the Assembly shortly, but first, here are excerpts of our latest documentary titled "A Tax for Galamsey," produced by Clinton Yabua and Nana Buachi Yadom.
According to the Forestry Commission, 44 out of 288 forest reserves have been invaded and harmed. Beneath the crisis are acts of bribery and corruption, illegal payments, extortion, sanctioned by those elected and appointed to protect our resources. Our investigation began as whispers of an organized extortion scheme kept resurfacing, with stories shared quietly among miners who speak only in cautious tones. The fragmented accounts pointed towards a task force allegedly operating under the authority of the District Chief Executive of Manchester Central, Emmanuel Obeng Ajeman. According to the patterns we observed, miners were said to be paying 3,000 Ghana cedis for every Chanfan machine, one leg as it is termed, while others pay 30,000 Ghana cedis and more for every excavator in usage. Our investigation also uncovered receipts and warrant stickers being issued to guarantee uninterrupted illegal operations when payments were made.
The whole issue, even though it's all my years more for less than and the woman that will says Scavita 700 million. So if I were to go new and no idea, I'm not talking sure what the form of us with
These allegations demanded the deeper inquiry, but our strongest evidence came from a recorded phone call with the District Chief Executive. In the tape, he confirms that the task force collects monies and that it operates under his instructions.
Assembly may as DC, Mama na Sakonya na so onkonkoye. Ona we mining desk officer. It is a Akonya tin o si yan na enye dia fine ye ka ho asem. E na meka jo say the benya o raise complaints here. O start ejuma we almost 1 month on one leg ni. Miners are on your encounter. Ah, my friend, no, bro 20. One friend encounter. Obi a friend be anywhere, me ma people in their friend malam. Me catch say, and then enko kasa. Na yamane 2 minutes on.
It is at this point that we confirm the cash payment in exchange for Galamsey. Undercover, we infiltrated the Jakobu Township, the seat of the District Assembly, posing as illegal miners operating at Eskesu, one of the mining communities. It is time for us to uncover the loot. We secretly filmed every process and navigated the community on motorbikes. The assembly is where we intend to make payments and confirm every illegal mining scandal. Our undercover operation led us to Philemon, a receptionist at the District Assembly. He greeted us and with apparent willingness agreed to help us procure a warrant sticker for our Galamsey operation. He called one district engineer who would later send us contact to the mining desk officer himself.
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Boss Macho, okay, your baby to stick out.
Okay, to stick out. And see, Mame, Mame name is Officer Linkasawai. It is no another man and I'm money in the Panakasawai.
All right.
Yeah, trust it.
Hours passed as we waited for the mining desk officer and leader of the task force, a man known interchangeably as Red, Malam or Nana, who also served as the community's chief imam. Our wait was prolonged because he was reportedly out on an operation collecting the tax from illegal miners. Payments were allegedly collected on Mondays and Wednesdays alone. Later, we managed to speak with the head of the mining desk on phone. He confirmed the 3,000 Ghana cedi payments for Chamfan machines and instructed us to wait for his arrival, which was very uncertain.
One leg, you know.
Bachani. A better na ke pesi e kobe bikakra.
45 minutes.
Wow. Asemo. Looking at Kabekwa ni ntumi nhia o. Because he be say ke kokuma ase.
Okay, bra. Maybe I'm
So those are excerpts from our latest Hotline documentary, A Tax for Galamsey. You can catch the full interview on all our social media handles. We can now hear from the Assembly. And on your screens now is that statement that was released by the Galamsey Central District Assembly. And that's their argument, as you can see. This is it. They say that revenue collection from earth-moving equipment did not begin under the current administration. They say that collections have been recorded in 2008, 2012, 2016, 2020, 2023, and 2024. It continues to say the revenue collection is grounded in the Assembly bylaw, which was passed as far back as 2008. No individual in the current administration introduced this framework. What is happening is implementation of existing law. Individual referred to as Red is a recognized Assembly revenue officer. They continue to justify it that he has served under multiple administrations. All monies collected are paid into the Assembly's official account at Odotobri Rural Bank, supported by official receipts and deposit slips. Claims of diversion or private keeping are false. Revenue used for critical operational needs. The Assembly continues to say that it remains firmly opposed to illegal mining and that the fight against Galamsey is unchanged and uncompromising. Revenue Mobilization Authority comes from local governance laws. If concerns exist, proper channel is a formal review of the bylaw. It concludes by saying that this is not a wrongdoing. So that is the main points that we deducted from that particular statement they released in response to our Hotline documentary, A Tax for Galamsey. Meanwhile, the minority on Parliament's local government committee says the district chief executive must not be singled out, insisting that the coordinating director, financial officer, and other key officials of the Assembly must also be held accountable as public pressure intensifies for a full-scale probe into what critics describe as an entrenched Galamsey syndicate operating from within the Assembly. John Darko is a member of Parliament's local government committee.
I think it's good. It's good that the government has given us assurance that they're going to take this up. But, it's not enough. We need to see action. Why should government wait for Joy FM to bring documentary before they even talk about it? Where is government security? Where is our national security? They say they have 9 months. What have they been up to? They've been paying a lot of millions of our cities to these people. Why is it that it should take Joy FM to bring this out? Can't the government agency the EPA, the Minerals Commission, the NIMOS, the military, the police. Why are we paying them? Why must it take JFM? JFM, did anybody give you money to do what you did? You did it because you love Ghana. Nobody is paying JFM to do this. But we are using our taxpayers' money to feed government and government officials to be doing this for us. So if JFM hadn't come up with this, we wouldn't know. And even apart from that, look at what Felix is saying. My colleague is saying that, well, they haven't seen the documentary and that if they see evidence, they will take action. So it tells you about a government which is sleeping. In fact, in the afternoon, I mentioned about the importation of cyanide into our country. It looks like our government is even aware that illegal mining operators are bringing in cyanide into our country. Our security is impacted. Why is national security officials being paid? Why are they being paid? And so for me, my worry is that it has to take JFM to come up with this for government to react the way it did. That is even worse. One would have expected that even without promptings of anybody, government would have come out to say that the intelligence has discovered ABCD. Why is government intelligence not discovering this? Because this is a dangerous thing. This is going on. Government officials are involved in this Galamsey. In fact, in the afternoon, I told you about a text message I received that right now the party delegates they go out to the mining companies. They collect money to their party chairpersons in their constituency, and the chairperson will sort out the NIMOS. That is what we are hearing. Is the government not aware of this? So for me, I would have been very happy if this whole thing has come out from the government-owned sources. It tells you that the government is sleeping on this job. It tells you that we should probably be paying JFM. We should be paying some of our taxes to you because you are the people bringing out the ills of our society whilst our government is sleeping, whilst our security agencies who are being paid are sleeping. JFM is the only one doing this job. I am ashamed that I have to pay my tax to this government. But the government is not using our taxes the way it should be.
So you had that John Dako. He's a member of Parliament's local government committee and also the MP for Swami constituency. Let's get talking and bring in Kenneth Ashigbe, who is the convener of the Media Coalition Against Galamsey, and Awula Sewa is also the coordinator of Eco-Conscious Citizens. Lady and gentlemen, grateful for your time this afternoon. I'd want to begin with the lady. Awula, you've seen excerpts of our documentary. You've also seen the justification that has been brought by the Galamsey Central District Assembly. What do you make of it?
First of all, I want to thank Joy for what they've done, putting their lives on the line to uncover the truth. You know, we've always said that illegal mining could be stopped if the political will were there. And that the reason why it continues is that the political will isn't there. The documentary just highlights what we've been saying all along. What it says is that it shouldn't even be tax for Galamsey. The title should be protection for Galamsey. Because what is happening is that you can engage in illegal mining. All you need to do is to pay some money. And the fact that you are paying, is it 10,000 cedis for the one leg, the Chan Fund, that alone shows you that we are just not serious as a nation. The Chan Funds are banned. You are not allowed to mine on water bodies. It's illegal. So for any assembly to be taking protection money so that we can be poisoned, water is life, so we can continue being poisoned, is just unacceptable. And my concern is that Ghanaians are not angry enough. I would have thought that after the airing of this documentary, there will be a lot of concern, a lot of angry voices being raised, that we didn't vote for musical chairs. We did not vote for musical chairs, but whether this had been going on at the past administrations or not, we were told there was going to be a reset. A reset means it doesn't matter what happened in the past. This is a new system going on. Obviously, that is not happening. Illegal mining is going on unabated. And what is worse is that there's state-sponsored complicity in illegal mining. This is just unacceptable, and we are waiting for the president. In fact, we are disappointed that the DCE is still at post. One would have thought that there would have been urgency in dismissing him or at least removing him from post so that there will be prosecutions and anybody found guilty. Always talked about, you know, so I'm just sort of amazed that there hasn't been enough of an outcry. Other media stations haven't really covered the documentary.
Right.
And Ghanaians are not reacting as much as I thought they would.
Right. I'll come back to you, but let me bring in Ken Ashigwe in at this point. Ken, I understand you've excused yourself from a conference in South Africa. That is the prominence you attach to this issue. Grateful for your time this afternoon. You've heard the response from the Galamsey Central District Assembly just justifying this, that they came to meet it, and this is a bylaw that has been in place since 2008. Justified enough?
So this is laughable. It's laughable, you know. And I'm wondering why it is the Assembly that is issuing the statement. Who is the Assembly? Is it the Chief Executive that is issuing this particular statement? As I will have said, how do you give a license to an illegal activity? Chamfans are banned. Mining in the water bodies are banned. So how does an assemblyman go to an illegal site and goes to, give a license? They are betting with the particular crime that is being committed. So if you look into the Act 995, that is an illegal activity. And by now we should be expecting that the DC, the finance officer, the coordinating director, everybody involved should be arrested. The fortunate thing for us is that crime has no time bar. We need to go back. Everybody who has been involved in giving out these licenses irresponsibly to illegal miners should be arrested. If you look at our laws, it is very clear where you can mine, where you cannot mine. So this lame excuse of saying that because somebody murdered somebody in the past, when you murder somebody today, it's not a crime. I don't know where that is coming from. I do not know where that is coming from. So, as I will have said, we will be hoping that the Minister for Lands, the Minister for Local Government, that the Attorney General, the IGP, together with everybody who is involved, should run up everybody who is involved in this criminality. This is completely not acceptable. The laws are to be made for lawful activities. You cannot make a law for an unlawful activity. You go and see somebody who is mining in an illegal site, and then you are giving the person a sticker, you are collecting money. And the sad part of it is you heard them saying that they wanted to come for stickers for chamfans. How do you give permits for people to go and use chamfans to go and mine on our water bodies when that activity is prescribed by law?
Right. The government, when I spoke to government spokesperson Felix Kwachiofosu yesterday, he did indicate that they are yet to see this documentary, but they will take decisive action if anybody is implicated in it. And Joy FM and JoyNews is officially going to petition the government concerning this particular documentary. But the minority has started criticizing the government that it is not showing willingness to deal with persons who have been implicated in this particular documentary. Do you think it's early days yet, or the government needs to do more?
Well, for me, again, I have seen a few things that the current president is doing that is different from what he did in the past. I have seen what has happened to the elections that is happening in Ayawaso, and the alacrity with which decisions were taken. I am expecting that in this particular situation as well, the same alacrity would be applied to this. Anybody who condones, encourages people to mine on our water bodies are sinning against Act 995. There is no two ways about that. And definitely as multimedia, as members of the Media Coalition Against Galamsey, we definitely would also be taking the petition up. And I will be pleading with His Excellency, the President, and then the ministers who are involved, local government, the Minister of Interior. All of these people should be rounded up. We don't want the situation of what happened in the last government, when the the DC for Busumere Freho was involved and was confessed to an illegality openly, and nothing happened to them. In this particular case, we need to ensure that we're holding everybody accountable. We can't be having the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources sitting in South Africa asking, getting investment to come into our country, making sure that we're mining responsibly. Then you still have people who have been appointed by His Excellency the President as a representative in a district, condoning with mining on water bodies and tell us his excuse is the fact that this has been happening since 2008. That completely is not acceptable.
Are you at the same conference the Lands and Natural Resources Minister is at?
Yes, definitely. Tomorrow we are going to have the Ghana Day at the mining in Daba, and we are going to be talking about the opportunities that mining brings to our country. And the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources is also here.
I'll come back to you, but let me bring in Awula Sewa in at this point. Awula, just this morning, government spokesperson Felix Kwachiofosu again announced that there's going to be an emergency cabinet meeting tomorrow to discuss about the woes of cocoa board. You know, cocoa farmers have not been paid for a few months now. Do you think that this emergency cabinet meeting should have included the situation we have on our hand when it comes to Galamsey?
See, as my brother Ken has said, my formidable brother Ken has said, the way we are treating this matter shows that we do not appreciate the importance of the matter. This is a national issue. We are being poisoned. We said we're coming to do a reset. Now, illegality is taking place, and the assembly is trying to justify it. And I'm quite disappointed because we should have dealt swiftly with this matter. He should not be at post so many hours after this documentary has aired. And the fact that we are acting in not a very swift manner shows that we don't appreciate the seriousness of this situation. This is a serious situation. How are we going to have any reset when illegality is being condoned and the persons at the heart of it are still walking free? And let's be clear, he's not the only DCE involved in this kind of activity. They should all be rounded up. They should all be arrested, prosecuted, so that we see that indeed there's a reset going on. But as it is now, for Felix to say that he hasn't yet seen the whole thing just shows that we're not taking this matter with any degree of seriousness. The speed with which our High Commissioner in Nigeria was recalled, we should demonstrate a bit of alacrity in dealing with this matter. We are being poisoned.
Right. Awula, in that particular statement, that justification that the Galamsey Central District Assembly brought out, they said that this is a bylaw that has been in place since 2008. So really, there's nothing they can do about it. They're just following the laws. Are they not justified, you'd say?
I haven't heard of anything more lame, and as my brother put it, something that is a criminal activity cannot be legalized. We do not legalize crime. This is criminal activity. No bylaw can decriminalize it. We know that chanfans are banned. So you cannot give stickers to have chanfans and then you say that there's a law. And let's be absolutely clear. This is a lame excuse. It's a lame excuse and nobody should attach any seriousness to it. As I have said, and my brother Ken has said, they should all have been arrested by now. This is no excuse. Illegal activity, which is leading to ecocide. We are being poisoned. And just because of a bit of money, you think you can continue the poisoning. What kind of behavior is this? And let me add this. When this administration was in opposition, Sam George had said that the president was the commander-in-chief of the armed forces and that if he were to do his work well, Galamsey could be ended in, I believe he said 3 months, 4 months. You see, let's not play politics with a matter that is to do with the poisoning of Ghanaians. No matter which administration is in power, if you want to end illegal mining, you can. But when the state-sponsored complicity in illegal mining throughout past administrations, it makes it difficult. Let's draw a line today. Have all those involved arrested. Otherwise, our Joy journalists would have put their lives on the line for nothing. They have put their lives on the line. Have they received any protection? And I think that time has come for us to always have a recall of all our journalists, whether with Joy or other media organizations who have been beaten up, I can remember Ohiming Tewia, who was badly beaten up, is still suffering. We know about Erastus Asharidon, so many actors from different stations. What are we doing to encourage them and to say that they also deserve some concern for what has been happening to them, trying to bring the truth to us? And when they've gone through all this trouble, what are we doing about it? What are we doing about it?
Awula Sewa, thank you very much. She's the coordinator with Eco-Conscious Ghana. And earlier, we heard from Ken Ashigbe, who is the convener of the Media Coalition Against Galamsey, all the way from South Africa. Ken Ashigbe, I want to pick your final thoughts because we would have to cross over to Parliament for an emergency announcement as well.
it's important that we deal with this situation. It's not only this particular MC. The MCE or DCE for Dunkwa, it's also on record to have been issuing these tickets out. And you see, the government, the Ministry of Land and Natural Resources, has a process of tracking excavators. So if they want to even give collect these monies, it should be excavators that are already tracked. By excavators that are in the middle of the theater of a crime, you go giving them permits, and you're saying that it's because somebody has been doing it in the past.
Right.
Are they oblivious to the research that is happening? These people need to be arrested by His Excellency. His Excellency needs to cause the arrest of these people.
Okay.
And let's make sure that anybody who's being involved in this is punished.
Ken Ashigbe, thank you very much. He took time off his busy schedule in South Africa to speak to us.